So if you look back, you can see,
no.
like, yeah. Look at that, yeah. This was obviously not the intended motor for.
So I said I've never seen an R31 in real life before, but technically this isn't an R31. What is this?
It's a DR30 Skyline, 1983.
What's the story on this?
I know it's a little different than like 32s, 33s, and 34s. I think like 10 years ago, I saw like a DR30 on like, I don't know, some random like forum, and I kind of honestly fell in love. I think at the time I was in college, I had like no money, so I just started like slowly working, then realizing, I think, I don't know, a couple years ago that I was like, it was a lot easier to import a car into California than I thought, because obviously with California smog laws and all that, so I thought it was a lot more difficult. And then I realized there already was one in California I came across, and I was like, oh shit, this is my chance to maybe own one. So I test drove it. He wanted too much money, but I test drove it and I like absolutely fell in love. And so I was like, okay, I know for sure I want a DR30 because I saw it online, loved it, but never drove one or driven one. Finally drove one, and I was like, okay. And so then I started like 2019 looking for one. I found this one at auction in Japan. I think bought it in July of 2019, and then it pretty much purchased it, brought it over, I think in November. It came in November, registered it, and I've had it ever since. So
just this past November?
Or November 2019.
Oh,
so I've had it for almost 2 years now.
Wow.
So yeah, I bought it, technically bought it July 2019, and then it arrived November 2019. So,
awesome. So yeah, let's walk around. Let's talk about some of the stuff on here. So
it's pretty much like completely stock body wise. Obviously it has like 15-inch long champs. Those are, I want to go wider, but for right now I like long champs, so they work pretty well. Honestly, yeah, it's pretty much like most of it. Like the wing is like an optional aero wing, which is really nice. It has like rear spats, side skirt, a little front lip. That's all like actual like body or OEM, which is really nice because it's like there's an OEM body kit that you can get with the car. Paint is like, you know, probably the worst of the cars. Like, you know, I mean, it's an 80s car. It's kind of like chipping everywhere, but not too bad. I installed coilovers. It actually has R31 coilovers because R30 coilovers for whatever reason, like nobody outside Japan makes them. But like, you know, Fortunato, Silver, what's the other one? BC Racing, they all make R31 coilovers. I don't know why not R30, but so they're the same. They fit the rear, they fit the front. You just have to weld them in the front, like, you know, I think a lot of like Cressidas and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
and
like the spindles or something.
Yeah,
right?
you have to weld the spindles. So I had a shop do that for me because I was like, I can't weld it. So other than the coilovers, I have like the DC5 Integra JDMC.
Oh, nice. Because
my front seat was pretty beat up. And then, you know, a few things that the previous like owner in Japan did. It has like, you know, like a Momo steering wheel and all that. But pretty much, yeah, I kept it pretty stock. The motor's been worked on a little bit by Z-Car Garage in San Jose. San Jose, yeah. They did a lot of work for me because it had an issue. The map was bad and things like that. So they fixed that for me. But other than that, yeah, it's relatively stock. I replaced some bushings and things like that in the car, but pretty much it's like stock body, stock, other than like wheels and suspension. So it's kind of like, yeah, a nice cleanish example of a stock car.
So I see the turbo. Of course.
Yeah, that is actually, I mean, I put the graphic on, but it is OEM graphics. Oh. So this came on the car as you bought it.
I imagine these come in a lower trim. Like, is this the highest trim this will come in?
Yeah, so it's like, unlike, you know, there's like GTST, GTR, all that kind of stuff. This is essentially like a GTR equivalent, but there was no GTR of the R30 generation.
That's right.
So it's like, this is the highest trim, performance trim you could get for an R30 at the time. So it's like HR30, I think like PCR30, and then DR30. So DR30 is like the B&R 32 or the GTR equivalent. I mean, I think they had a lower model turbo, but this is like, yeah, the RS turbo, and so this is like, has powered windows, a bigger turbo, higher compression, has the FJ20 motor and all that. So it's like the GTR equivalent of R30 generation.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm dying to see under the hood.
Yeah,
if you're...
right here, I'll pop it. unfortunately a little.
Dude, hold on. Before you open the hood, what badge is this?
That is the old S for the Skyline. It's just, it used to be red. It's obviously like kind of old. But yeah, this is the old Skyline badge. So it has obviously been repainted, but welcome to Japan. So it's pretty much relatively untouched FJ20. So
the car used to be this color then?
Yeah, it used to be gray. It used to be gray and black, and because the DR30s came two-tone, so red and black, gray and black, or all white. So this was gray and black. So the black or black blue was never repainted, but it was because the red and black is the most popular color.
Yeah.
The famous color. So most people. It's a little bit more orange. It's not like an OEM red, but it's a little bit more of an orange color. So it's not obviously painted very well, but that's life. But you see, because this car, you know, is like has the multiple trim. The lower trim come with a 6-cylinder. So if you look back, you can see like, yeah. Look at that, yeah. This was obviously not the intended motor for the original car.
Oh man.
So. And then the oil pan, same thing with the FJ20, sits lower than the rest of the car.
Oh man.
So unfortunately, yeah, the FJ20 like is just wide and skinny, so like you have so much space. You can see like the transmission. And
Let me go right around you.
So yeah, it's pretty much stock. It's like it's like a blow off valve. I bought a new MAF. I mean, it's like I didn't want to do standalone or anything because I don't have the money for it. So
that's crazy. You know, like all the maps from this era like all look the same.
Yeah. I think a dude it's an S12 MAF actually, and not even like, because the Japanese S12s also had the FJ20 in the highest trim. But I think those are the only two cars to have it. Some S12s and then the DR30. So yeah, that's actually an S12 MAF that some guy in like Utah gave me.
Oh man.
So yeah, I mean some stuff is like like you can switch out between early 300ZXs and stuff, but for the most part you're kind of on your own. So it's like just buying random DR30 parts from Japan. So it's kind of a pain.
AC works in this?
No.
Oh, well.
It's there. I'm assuming it either needs to be recharged or like switched to whatever the 134, whatever the hell the new one's called. But no, I mean it's all here. But I have no idea if it works, and I just never cared. I was like, I just suffer. It's like, I mean, it's like old car, 80s car with AC. Like, what do I care? So I mean, the cool has the Prius battery because.
You gotta say nice things to it. It's too shy. I always tell mine, it's okay, you're good enough.
Yeah, right?
You can do it.
So yeah, here's my mess of an engine.